Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a good day. Today it was kind of a boring, kind of a slow day. Not really much follow through as usual on my setups. I'm not really making the profit that I would like to make, but I'm making my daily goal and then some, which is always a good thing. So I'm not going to complain about it. The worst thing you can do, I think I said it yesterday, is to start trying to chase other people strategies who may be working in this market. The problem is it's not yours. You're not well versed in it, and you can end up messing yourself up and you lose your identity as a trader. And then you end up having to start all back over again. So hopefully, um, you don't lose it to where you can't come back the next day. I was listening to somebody speak, and I can't remember who it is or who it was, but he said he was against having daily goals because he said your daily goal every day is to make it to the next day. And he didn't like having daily goals because a lot of traders, and we teach this, when you first start trading, which is a good thing to do when you first start trading, is to set a daily goal. When you reach it, shut everything down. You can paper trade and do whatever, because the easiest money to make is in the morning. And then you can, once you're consistent paper trading in the afternoon and you feel comfortable that you won't give back most of your gains from the morning, then you can just go live all day. Um, I'm not I don't subscribe to the ideology that once I reach my daily goal, I my platform off. I try to beat my daily goal 2 and 3 times on the first trade. And then the rest of the trades I'll take as they come. But I thought that was a unique, perspective, is that, your goal should be to make it to the next day. And when you're new, that's what you have to do. Take it one day at a time, and let's make it, let's make sure we keep our account intact, so that we're here the next day and then the next day and then the next day. But Rig was one of the tickers on my watch this morning. And actually, I was playing with this thing pre-market, and I'm not going to even go over it other than just to tell you that I know now why we don't want to trade pre-market. Even though I saw this volume here, 100,000 shares, that doesn't mean, this thing here came in one lot pretty much. All of this volume came in one lot. And it's so hard. It was so hard for me to get a position in. I knew it was going to be so hard to get out, and we just don't condone it. I'm not going to even talk about it anymore. I feel I was just lucky to get out today, with what I got out with. So I'm not going to even talk about that mess. But at the open, and what I was looking for this to do is to run up. And while I was trying to get pre-market, was I wanted to catch the run up into open, because I knew the way this thing sold off starting at 4 o'clock this morning, and it kind of held around here, and then it reclaimed VWAP. I was expecting this thing to run up into the 200 at open, and I was going to short it at the 200 and ride it down to possibly the 60s or maybe even the 40s. Just that was the plan I had for this, and this was the most appealing to me. So I went ahead. I chased this a little bit because I wanted to see this retest, but it started running down so much. I went ahead and took a position. This was a starter position anyway. This wasn't a full position, because I was chasing it, and I was a little ways away from the 200. So I went ahead and took 1,500 shares. 3,000 was my goal to get in this, 3,000 shares. So I took 1,500 here, and it came down a little bit, but then it turned around and it started this chop. Now what concerned me was this trend line here, because I saw this thing was making higher lows. The 9 was trending up, the 20 was trending up, the VWAP was trending up. But still, I respect this 200. And I respected it so much that when it failed to push it on this candle, when this candle opened and it came up and it started to come back down, I went ahead and got, added 1,500 shares again, to this position. And then, I got the wash here. It didn't quite make it to the 9. The 9 is my first profit target. So I kind of held on to it, and it started to pull back up, and I was like, nah, this, not again. We're not going through this chop again. So when it came down, I took some off at 9.95. I just had an order sitting here at the VWAP. I'm just waiting to get hit. And normally when you set an order on the VWAP or on the 9, you're not going to have a problem with it getting hit, because you've got institutional traders, the automated traders, they'll pick up orders on the VWAP, on the 9, and so forth. So I was pretty confident that I would get some hit there. So I took 2,000 shares off here. I just did not like what I was seeing. Didn't think I would get the crack, but I left 1,000 on just in case I was going to get the crack. And I kind of left it at, set it to break even. But a couple of times it did test it. It did test my break even price, but it never gave me an indication to get out of the trade. And as long as it did that, I was not going to get out of the trade. I was going to give it time to work. And that's what I did. And all through here, I was just holding. And I really thought this was going to be the crack I was looking for. You can see how it starts to roll over. And then once it lost VWAP, I was ready to cheer. I was ready to get on my cheering shoes and, watch this thing fade down to where I wanted it to. But it didn't. When it started to turn again here, when I saw the momentum shift coming, I went ahead and got out here at 93. And, it did turn around, start trading back above VWAP. I took 500 shares off here, and I left 500 on just in case this thing would crack. Well, I made the cardinal sin. I completely forgot about this trade. I completely forgot that I still had 500 shares left on it. This was in my Speed Trader account. Because I was messing with this pre-market, I only used Speed Trader pre-market and left it on, and didn't realize it was on until I got home and started pulling everything up so I could look at my P&L and just realized I was in a little bit of trouble. But not really. I mean, it is at $10 now. My average is like 10 and a half, or 10.3 or something like that. But I'm still to the good 10 cents. That's $50 good, so not gonna cry about that. I may get a big wash tonight, in the morning like we did this morning, and may pick up some good profit, but who knows. That's not the way I like to trade. It was just, I forgot, and I need to stop that. I'm not messing with pre-market anymore, so I don't have to worry about forgetting orders that I have out anymore. HFC was the next trade. This was a top reversal setup I was looking at. The volume built in just like I like, and kind of teetered off here. So I felt good about taking this trade at this level because the volume had already spiked, and and this candle was red, and because it opened here and it started going red on me. So I went ahead and took the short here at 37.50, I believe. Yeah, 37.50. Basing it off this 37.58. My stop was going to be the high of this candle here, which was, I think, 72. Yep, 37.72. Yeah, that's right. That was going to be my stop. Completely missed the cover. I would have covered down here in the 30s. I would have taken some off here. Because whenever I get a wash that quick, I go ahead and cover up some, because that means that it's probably going to snap back. And I missed this because I was typing my entry in chat. So as soon as I sent it, I turned around and looked. This thing was down here in the high 30s. It had already gone down here and did not get a chance to take profits. And I could have got it here at 40, but that wasn't what I was looking for. It wouldn't have made sense. So I ended up getting stopped out here in the 70s, right at 37.70. And I waited. I said, I'll look at this level at 38 and see if it rejects it. This might be the place, because a lot of times now the first level will hold it up and it may give it a little pause and it may fade a little bit, but it will never hit the 9, and it would rebound and go right back up to the next level of resistance, and then it will fail. And that's exactly what this one did. So I was ready for it based on what I've seen the last couple weeks, and I went ahead and got short here, 37.98. Once this candle failed to push, this opened below it, and it opened pretty weak. So I went ahead and got short, and scared money, took profit here in the 80s. This was my first target, but I got suckered into taking half here of my initial cover, and then taking the rest of it here. So I was in half, took off another quarter here, and then took off the last quarter here at VWAP, which was my ultimate target. So the only thing about this, I had an extra cover here, but everything else I would have done the same. This was a perfect setup. This was a candle that would have told me that this level is probably going to hold. This candle opened red and it was getting red, was weak, so I figured it would wash, and it did. But I didn't think it was going to turn around and get this strong this quick, and it just kind of caught me off guard. But this one, the secondary plan worked to perfection. So that was my day today. Hope everybody had a great day too. One lesson I learned today is I'm not touching pre-market anymore, leaving that mess alone. But I'm not going to chase anybody else's trades. I mean, I'm making my goals, and that's all that matters. If I was going red, then I would be thinking about, hey, I need to change something up, or, what do I need to do to fix it? But as long as it's working and everything is doing what it's supposed to do, for the initial move, I may not get follow through, but I got the initial move, and if I can, profit off of that, I will. No, this trade should have been profitable, but just human error, just a mistake on my part. I need to be worrying about my trade first versus typing stuff, entries in chat. That's not paying me. This is. So, I've got to get my focus. But I hope to see everybody tomorrow in chat. It's in chat. If you're not, I invite you to come join us. Just come sign up for one of our free chat Mondays. We should be having one probably the first Monday of next month. I think we did our 2 already for March, but just come and sign up and give us a test drive. See if you like it. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of good traders, and it's all about learning. It's all about learning in our community. So everybody have a great night, great evening, or a great morning, depending on what part of the world you're in. And we'll see you tomorrow in chat.